We just had guests from Thailand stay with us for 10 days. Look at all the cool stuff we got. Stay tuned.
So we just had the Asian guests from Thailand. Should we name them?
Will they want to be named? I'm not
They're
sure.
probably okay. They're probably okay. Well, their name is Thor and Kang from Thailand. They're my coworkers actually from my work.
And those are their nicknames too.
Nicknames, yep.
So their real names, I guess, technically haven't been revealed.
Yeah. We tend to use nicknames for people from Thailand because it's hard to pronounce or easy to pronounce. Just like how Chinese people, Korean people, they always give like the English nickname. I think Japanese people don't do that as much, but that's the nickname, Thor and Kang, that we had for 10 days. And it was for their work trip that they decided to come to US, and we decided to host them because we thought it would be fun to host a guest here in our house as opposed to having them stay in a hotel, which may or may not be a good experience. I think it's fun to see like the livelihood of how people live. And granted, we're more like Asian Americans, and it's not like super American thing to experience, but I think it's still fun to see staying at people's house.
Yes, and we live in Austin. If you've never tuned into the UbeMatcha Podcast before, I represent the Ube side. I'm Filipino American.
Yep, and I represent the Matcha side. I'm half Korean, half Japanese, but I grew up in Japan, so I think my identity is more of a Japanese than a Korean.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Kang and Tor experienced our everyday life while at the same time working in the U.S. and soaking in all the American culture.
Or I should say the UbeMatcha culture, because they soaked in our culture, and of course we gave them a tour of Texas.
Yes.
But before we get to that, I think we should mention how many hours it took them to fly in from Thailand to US.
Very long time.
Very long time. It was a last minute trip, so they couldn't even get the best flight route. They had to first go to Taipei, and then they had to go to LA, I believe, and then they had to go to Austin. And in between, there is the layover in LA, arriving at midnight, and then you have to stay till the morning. So that was like 8 hours of layover inside the airport, and you couldn't leave because, of course, it's middle of the night. There's nothing to do. So they had to basically try to sleep at the airport.
Yeah, I think they just probably slept on a row of chairs, maybe.
Yeah.
I know that Kang had noise canceling headphones at least, so he was able to just drown out all the noise, but poor Dor had to try to sleep. Well, he didn't really sleep, I feel like, through all the announcements that starting at 4 or 5 a.m. they kept going off, just like announcing every little thing, which is like, it's an airport, so it happens. But yeah, they didn't really rest. But when they got here, they seemed really wide awake though.
Yeah, they were like ready to go because I offered them to rest at our house first. But they were like, no, we want to see stuff. So I decided to drive them around right after they arrived, and I dropped the luggages off at our house. And then I started to drive them around and go to groceries. And we went to like H-E-B and a Home Depot, like a random big stores.
Yeah.
And then we met you later.
Yeah. I think the adrenaline was pumping, probably. Why they were still wide awake. And we had ramen the first day.
Yeah.
Sazan Ramen, shout out, here in Austin near Ranch 99.
Yeah. That was
Very
surprisingly
delicious.
good. Surprisingly
Well, that was the
good.
first time you had it. I've had it before, and it was delicious. So
Yeah.
highly recommend it if you're in Austin.
Yeah,
Try Sazan.
I keep getting surprised by how good some of those Japanese restaurants are. I thought it's because it's in the Asian market area. Sometimes it's like you open it just because
It's convenient.
it's convenient, and like it might not be as good.
But since there's traffic,
Yeah.
people will buy anyway.
Yeah. But it turned out to be really good. That I want to actually go back there and eat. It's like it's in a different vector of ramen tatsuya, but it's like really good chicken base soup. Like it was really good, and they were impressed.
Yeah, they
They were
ate
like
quickly.
Yeah, they're
and
like,
they were
yeah, we
"Mm,
don't
it's
get
good."
something like this in Thailand. So like, oh, great. Yeah.
first meal was already impressive.
Yeah, and it was already an Asian food instead of the Austin
Oh,
food.
that's funny.
Which we took them. We took them to many brisket places later, but
Yeah, and we'll get into that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they are Asian guests, so of course they brought Asian gifts from their hometown.
I guess
And
it is a very
yeah.
Asian thing, right? Whenever you visit or stay at anyone's house, you usually bring gifts, and they're usually of the food variety. They brought us a lot of gifts.
Yep.
Not all for us, some to share with other coworkers that they were meeting up here in the US, in the Austin area. So they weren't all for us, but yeah, there was a lot. And
Yeah.
we have a few to share.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do we want to start with?
So this is a dry jackfruit chips, and we already finished the dried durian. That was
yes.
so good that
Yeah.
everyone just like hoarded
We
it.
just demolished it.
Demolished
but
it.
I love jackfruit. This is so good. This is a little too easy to eat.
Yeah.
You just lap it up.
It's a little bit smelly, so maybe it takes. Some people probably won't like it, but if you don't mind a little bit of smell, this is really good chips.
Yeah, it's pretty pungent but delicious.
And next we have this tamarind.
So that tamarind, I think it's kind of a sugar. You're supposed to apparently dip the peanuts in it, or you're supposed to sprinkle the tamarind on this.
I didn't know that.
So we
Okay.
haven't tried this yet,
Yeah.
but that's the instructions that Tor gave us to
we'll
try them.
try
So
this
we'll have to
one.
try with the tamarind.
And then this random anime ramen.
It is so random. Like there's a anime character. She kind of looks like Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. Do you kind of see the resemblance? I feel like she does.
I don't know if it's like a. I'm not surprised if they mimicked after like a Dragon Ball style, or it kind of looks like a Persona.
Oh, true.
series
Like the
art, too.
Persona 5
Yeah.
style. It looks like the Persona 5 art style. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, this has the picture of like a really spicy looking noodle. I don't know if it's gonna be spicy, but
We haven't tried it yet.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Seems
There's
so.
a Thai writing all over it too, so it looks pretty authentic.
This interesting looking is it like a curry chicken?
Yeah, so it's
is
a
it?
chicken masamun curry.
Oh, chicken
And this
masamun.
is a packet that's like ready to pour over rice, I believe. So if you want a quick meal, you can just pour this over rice. It seems to have everything in it. If you squish it, I think you can kind of feel, I don't know what's in here, like chicken, potatoes. I think it might be ready.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't-
yeah. I feel some ingredients.
Yeah, I
in there.
can't read the Thai, but I think it's just ready. It's kind of like the ready prepared Japanese curry that you just pour over rice and you just heat up in the
Yeah.
microwave or in the stove. I used to eat those a lot.
Yeah, and probably really spicy. We'll see. We'll see
Very
how this
convenient,
works.
but I haven't seen that before at the store yet.
So this I've seen a couple times.
So this is like Thai Vicks, I feel like. If you open it up and smell it, it smells a bit like Vicks. You have
Yeah.
to unroll it here.
I think I've seen that in Philippines
And
too.
they call this a Mark II inhaler. That sounds like a camera. But yeah, it smells like Vicks. And apparently you smell it when it's really hot outside. Or if you're feeling a little woozy, it kind of helps like bring you back to life and
Kinda
get
wake you up. Yeah.
yes, and get energy back. And Filipinos love to use Vicks to
Mm-hmm.
heal anything. Like if you have a cold, if you are dizzy, if you don't feel good, Vicks is the answer.
One time when you fainted in Philippines, someone put this out to your nose.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, to wake you up because like you fainted and like you lost your consciousness.
Yeah, I fainted once in the Philippines. A long story that I'll have to tell in a future podcast
Yeah.
episode, but I got really bad diarrhea, took Imodium, was not feeling good the next day, and I fainted randomly at the bank.
It was
So,
hot too.
yeah.
It was really hot.
I'll tell the full story in a later podcast, but yeah, that was scary. I don't even know what happened. I didn't even know anyone put anything like Vicks near my
they
nose.
did that, yeah, to wake you up. And I was like freaking out, like,
Yeah.
oh no, like what's happening?
Right. Okay. Do I
But
need
be
to
sure
go to
to
the hospital?
subscribe if you want to listen to the whole story and like hit the bell right now. Yeah, make sure to do that. Yeah. Well, actually, when I think about Asian people bringing food as a souvenir, I think
Yeah.
it's similar to how when Asian people invite you as a guest, they make you eat the food of their home food.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of same like
Sharing their culture.
sharing the culture,
Yeah.
and it's almost like if you don't like their food, it's like
An insult.
not they'll probably not think I'm gonna like I'm gonna be offended if you don't like it, but it's almost like a hope that you like my food. And I think I feel that way when I take them to Asian restaurant. I hope they like the Asian food that I'm sharing. That's
Yeah.
my favorite, and I hope they like it. And if they don't like it, I'll probably feel a little bit sad or feel like, oh, maybe I don't connect with the person. So it's almost like a test that they're giving you.
Wow. I mean, it could
we
be just
connect?
like a way to teach about your culture, because some things like natto, if you make them try it, who knows if they'll actually like it, but at least they tried it. I think the most important thing is they try, or you try.
Yeah, and they did like it. And I think we know what we are doing when we're testing them with the natto. But I think when it comes to something like ramen, like I sure hope you like ramen. When it comes to natto, I'm like, well, let's see how far I can push you to see if you like my
Like
culture.
ramen is delicious. Why would you not like ramen?
Yeah, just like how Filipino families made me eat the like a little. It's not a fish. It's like a crawfish or something like that.
Crawfish. Oh, it was
Philippines?
it was a lobster. I think
Lobster.
like a mini lobster.
Like it's not the fancy one, but like the homemade.
Yeah,
like
my
the
aunt
little
made
one.
him try this lobster dish she made the second day, I think, when we were in the Philippines, when we both went there and he went there for the first time. I don't remember the name of the dish. I'll have to look it up. But
yeah, that was like almost like a test to see, like, hey, are you good enough to be married to a Filipino person?
Wow.
As a
I don't know,
foreigner,
maybe.
right? I mean, it is kind of a test, right? Because I feel like maybe they wouldn't be super offended, but they'll sure like you more. Like if we connect at the food level, because the languages are different.
Yeah.
So like food, right? Culture is easy to share. But yeah, let's also share maybe some background on Dor and Kang.
Yeah.
It's funny because Dor and Kang are both only child, and I'm
Yeah.
only child too, and we realized that later, and that I think was very interesting because usually Asian family have more than one child. Maybe in the recent years not so much, but in their
yeah.
age back in the time, did you notice anything unique about our communication or the way we act to each other because we're only child?
I don't know if there was anything in particular. I felt like everyone was really easy to get along with. I don't know if that's an only child quality necessarily, though. I think Dor and Kang have personalities that are easy to get along with. Maybe for us, they're pretty chill. They keep pretty tidy.
Yeah.
And it was a work trip for the most part. So they spent a lot of time working. So there wasn't it wasn't like we're loud partying every night or something, So I don't know. I had a lot of only children friends growing up. So I don't know, maybe I have a magnetism or something to only children.
Well,
I'm the oldest of 3, so
I guess you attracted me, so
and I
maybe.
feel like, I feel like a lot of only children tend to be really independent because they've had to learn how to deal with things by themselves. And that's a quality that's nice. I think because I'm an oldest child, I've had to take care of younger like siblings or cousins or watch out for them. And not to say that they're not independent now, as some of them are not, but some of them are now. I feel like there is this element of feeling like you have to take care of them. With only children, I feel like the ones I've met and the ones that I'm close to, they tend to take care of themselves, which is nice. I don't have to look out for them in that way.
Right. They're not like depending on you. They can function by themselves. Maybe the difference were more like stark compared to some of the Asian American guests we had stay over versus the Asians. They're much more like the Asians coming from Asia. I think they behave it a little bit differently. Like we noticed that Doran Kang is like really actively trying to like help
Yeah, they would offer
Like
to help a
they
lot,
yeah,
like help
they
carry groceries
yeah,
back because we would do groceries.
yeah.
Elijah cooked
They
a
try to
lot.
like wash dishes, and it's almost like there's something driving them culturally to be that way.
To
Because
be courteous
yeah,
in that way.
to be there's almost like a pressure of like you have to do it. It's not like we're imposing, but culturally you're almost taught to be that way. Like
Okay.
when you're in someone else's house, when you're outside, you have to act as part of the society, like in a way to be helpful,
Yes.
right? I think that's more expected in culture of in Japan, or not sorry in Japan, but in Asia in general. But I think the Asian American guests we had are a little bit more chilled. Like they're more like guests who are encouraged to be like, oh, this is like your house, like relax.
Maybe this is like
Yeah.
vacation mode for me. I mean, and our friends that were here that are Asian American are more, we're more on vacation mode anyway. So maybe they felt more relaxed than that way. But yeah, I can kind of see like that, having an etiquette, right? That's more
Like a house
particular
etiquette. Yeah.
to Asia. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I felt like, why are they so like in a way, because I was like I didn't really need help
Yeah.
like washing dishes.
We
I'm just gonna
didn't
put it in the dishwasher,
we
right?
didn't ask
Yeah.
them to wash dishes. We didn't ask them to clean
Yeah,
or
but they were like almost like a
yeah.
driven to do it, and I was like, oh yeah, they are from Asia. And I kind of remember the pressure of like behaving in other people's presence or other people's house and be a guest.
Right.
Yeah, and of course they are Asian, so they would take off the shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would keep things tidy and be courteous about the house rules and
Yeah,
house
and they would
etiquettes.
try all the food too.
Oh yeah.
It's nice, and I think that is a politeness in Asian culture to just try everything, whatever we made or brought home. They at least tried it. There was maybe some things that they didn't like very much, but they never complained
Yeah.
about anything.
And day-to-day expectations are very relaxed. We actually created a calendar full of like 10 days worth of events that we were gonna do.
Yeah, it
Like,
was planned to
yeah,
the T.
yeah, we like planned to all the hours blocked on like, okay, we're gonna work these hours because of course they need to hit the goal of working 40 hours like a regular employee would, right?
Yeah, because this is a business trip. It's good to remember that, right?
Yeah. And then we have to try to clam in like a fun activity in the morning because it's really hot in the afternoon. So we have to do everything in the morning, come back home, work. And they were very open to all the plans we made. And they voiced like they wanted to do certain things, but they were very relaxed.
But they were flexible how it
very
was
receptive.
done. Yeah, it's more like, oh, if we're in the area again in a few days, then we'll go to that store, or like we'll try that food, or yeah, we were pretty open to that. I mean, it's super hot here in Austin, so any outdoor activities we wanted to do before 10 a.m. before we would burst on fire,
Yeah.
and they were open to that. And weather-wise, they said it was pretty similar to Thailand.
Yeah, it wasn't that different.
Yeah.
But for us, I think we wish that maybe it happened more in the fall so we can
Well, yeah, we wish
enjoy
that
outside more.
we wish that they visited in the fall
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
could take them to more outdoor activities, which Austin is known for.
Yeah. And yeah, we would ask them a lot of questions when we're in the car because often I feel like I drove like at least an hour to 2 hours every day because places are far to
Yeah.
get to. And a lot of fun stuff is in the middle of the Austin, which is at least 40 minutes from where we are. So we would ask them questions about like, what do you notice about America that's different? And Doran King has slightly different opinion perception because for Dor it's the second time. In fact, the first time he came to US was Seattle, and we also kind of not hosted in our house or apartment back in the time, but we hang out with them for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Thor, it's second time, but they were both surprised by how big the cars are.
Yes.
The truck is big. They even said the people are bigger and
People
taller.
are bigger. People are bigger in America.
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking.
Yeah. And as far as like a personality of people go, they thought people are like a mildly engaging, but not too much.
Yeah, they said
Yeah.
that, or at least King said that he was surprised that people were friendly, but not too friendly. I think the perception is that Americans are loud in other countries. So he was pleasantly surprised because he's an introvert that, people didn't talk to him too much or weren't too noisy. So that was his view. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, everything was so big, like places that we took them, like such a big area, buildings are big. King mentioned he really liked the interiors of the building.
Oh, huh.
It's all clean and like staged out versus most of the places are commonly like someone's house on the second story
Yes.
and then like restaurants or establishment on the first floor, which makes sense, right? To own your house and your shop so that you can kind of save money, right? You just pay the same rent. You don't have to pay a separate
Interesting.
rent to
Yeah.
operate a business, which I think are much less common in like if you go to Japan, that you don't really see that anymore. But that used to be pretty common thing.
Yeah. Actually, I feel like that actually has to do with zoning in the US. Like, I think many places don't want to zone residential with like a store, like
Right.
a corner mart. I don't really know the exact reason why, but I think that also contributes to urban sprawl in the US. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were really surprised by that difference. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what were the other. Oh, food. Food was another big difference. Ken kept talking about how everything tastes salty
Oh,
in
really? You thought it
US.
was saltier?
Yeah,
Okay.
everything is salty. Even the Thai food we tried. We tried Thai food twice from two of the restaurants. And yeah, the first comment is like, yeah, this is like too salty. It's not like that in Thailand. I
You go
think
easy on the salt.
yeah, I think they go crazy on the spice,
In Thailand,
but
yeah.
they don't add, I guess, salt as much.
Oh, got it. So
Yeah.
that's where all the flavor comes from.
Yeah. And it kind of makes sense because in restaurant, I think the tendency is to like give a strong like impact of flavor, right? Like a salt builds flavor, and they often put a lot of sugar, right?
Yes.
To make it taste good.
Yeah. So then you eat more,
Right.
order more,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so probably more. I bet like street food or like mom and pop restaurant shops probably make more everyday flavoring, which is not usually strong. It's more like a lighter that you don't get tired of.
Yes.
Because salty food you get tired of. But I think restaurant here has to compete with the other restaurants. Because if your food tastes bland, people are gonna say, "Oh, it's bland. Like it needs more salt." I think that's the common thing I see on the reviews
Yes,
of
that's
restaurants
true.
too. So people want salt. They want like, oh, the flavor strong.
They want you to be punched with
Yeah,
flavor.
right. So,
Yeah.
so that was definitely a different thing.
We actually had them try Thai food too. That was, well, the first place we went to, and we're not going to drop names. I don't want to disparage anyone, but one place we went to was very expensive. And the portions I feel like were small.
Too small.
Yeah,
right?
very small. And I feel like there wasn't that much in it. So I don't think they were very impressed with that. And I think in Thailand, maybe the price would have been like a tenth of that or something.
Yeah. They did say, yeah, that's like a tenth of the price.
Yeah.
And I realized that fancy place I did the to-go order from, I think maybe would have been justified if we ate inside.
Yeah, the interior of that
Yeah.
place we ordered the expensive Thai food from was super cool, very like dark and moody,
Yeah.
but had a kind of like a Thai aesthetic, or if you were
Yeah.
maybe in Bangkok or something,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
it looked
yeah.
super cool,
Yeah.
but maybe that's also
It looked
where
very
the money went
authentic.
into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that would have been like, okay, I want to impress someone. Maybe the price comes with that, right?
Yeah.
But the second place we went, which we like, so maybe we can name it. It's called Spoon and Fork,
Yes.
which looked pretty modern.
Yeah.
And I was like, Spoon and Fork. That
Is
can't,
this legit
is
Thai
this
food?
legit? Yeah, you can't have a name like that and then be good. But yeah, it was actually good.
They said, so Kang said that, I think Kang and Tor said that, well, okay, so I talked to Tor, and he said that the curry was good. He said, I think the pad thai and pad see ew were like not really authentic tasting. It didn't taste like it was in Thailand, at least. Maybe he thought they tasted good. I'm not sure, but he said the curry tasted like what it was in Thailand.
Yeah, and Ken said that I think the fried rice with the shrimp was pretty close to what you get
Oh,
in
nice.
Thailand.
Yeah.
But they did say that it should look more red. Yeah.
More spicy.
More spice. Yeah, it looks too
Throw some more
pale.
spices, yeah.
Yeah, it looks too pale in US compared
Yeah.
to what you get in Thailand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also cooked.
Yeah, we cooked a lot. Or you cooked a lot. I cooked a few meals.
Yeah, I feel like since it's my coworker guest, I should cook more. But I also like to cook when the guests are here, and yeah, they seem to like it. Unless they're like just saying it.
Unless they're just being
To
polite.
be polite, Asian polite.
Asian politeness.
Yeah. But their reactions seem genuine. But yeah, they were like, "Oh my god, like everything you cook like tastes good." And
Yeah, you cooked Japanese food mainly, right?
yeah, what did I even cook?
You made a curry
Made
because
a curry
Kang
rice.
said that he liked curry, and Kang is interested in Japanese culture too. So and cuisine, it seems like. So, you made that, and what else
What
did
did
you
I
make?
cook?
Ooh,
I made something with the chicken.
yes.
Or was that the curry? Maybe that was the curry I put in. No, I put the chicken soup in the curry. I don't know if I put the chicken itself.
Oh, you made a kimchi jjigae, so that's not Japanese,
kimchi
but
jjigae, that's
you're
Korean.
half Korean,
Yeah.
so that's another side of your culture.
Yeah, I didn't have miso though, so it wasn't a complete kimchi jjigae. But they like spicy stuff, so I think they liked it.
Yeah.
Kind of blanking out on all the stuff I
Did you make a hot pot? I think you made a hot pot, like a nabe.
Yeah,
I
we
know
made a
we
hot
use
pot.
that,
Yeah, that was like an easy way
nabe
to
maker.
yeah use a lot of ingredients at the same time, and then use some meat.
Oh yeah, Tor kept coming back for more helpings.
Oh, yeah.
I think he ate pretty much the entire hot
Yeah.
pot, which is good. I feel like or like those like Asian parents are like, "Oh, you're eating so well." That's kind of how it felt like because he enjoyed it a lot, so that was
Yeah.
nice. He did say he liked like home cooking, so that's also probably why.
Yeah, and I think home cooking maybe speaks to them more because it's not like salty like a restaurant food, right? It's not greasy, salty. And I made a lot of sandwiches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for breakfast.
For
yeah,
breakfast, yeah. With the micro I've been into the micro what do you call it?
Microgreens.
Microgreens.
Yes.
Yeah, so I made a lot of and I made a special paste with the garlic. Black garlic, which is like I thought it was fermented, but apparently it's not necessarily fermented garlic.
Oh, okay.
But it's a black garlic, which turns garlic into like a black paste. Or you get the cloves of it, then I crush it with the butter.
Oh,
So it's like a garlic.
Whoa, so it's like a very intense garlic flavor with butter.
Butter.
Kind of like a garlic butter bread.
Yeah, and they really like that.
You should have put it on Texas toast, and it would have been a garlic butter Texas toast.
So yeah.
Yeah.
They liked it so much that they wanted to buy it, and I
Oh
told,
yeah, they were trying to look for black garlic.
yeah, I told them like it should be easy to find it in Asia because that's a thing from
Probably the
Asia.
originated from Asia.
Yeah, like I know like black garlic we eat it in Japan. I don't know
Oh,
about in Korea. I assume so. So
I think so. Yeah.
So I would imagine Thailand would have a lot of those possibly, and I would put a kimchi, pieces of kimchi and the cheese melted on top, and I try to create a lot of fusion food. So they didn't really have maybe the popular typical cuisine from Japan or Korea. I try to make like a mix of different flavorings.
You just like invented
Yeah.
new flavors, ways of
Yeah.
eating.
Yeah, combining with like a local ingredients, but also
Yeah.
like my Japanese and Korean cuisine background.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we tried to switch up the food too. Like if we had something Asian, Japanese, or
Oh, yeah.
Korean for dinner, then for breakfast we would have something maybe more American, like toast.
I think that's
coffee.
the hard part to
Yeah.
balance. because you don't
Yeah.
always want to have bread or rice
Yeah.
at the same time. Or if we have a lot of meat at one of the time, then you don't want to have as much meat. Except we did take them to brisket places. I think
You
they
mean
had
barbecue places?
barbecue
Yeah, we
places.
took them to a few different barbecue places.
We took them to Interstellar Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
We took them to Terry Black.
Yes.
Then we took them to Switch Barbecue.
Or we brought Switch to our house for them to
Yeah.
try. We did takeout. Yeah.
I don't remember if we had the other one. We definitely didn't get to try Franklin because that was like too much to order. Because they have a minimum order of 5 pounds.
Yes.
But their favorite was Interstellar Barbecue.
Yes.
That was the first barbecue we took them on. I think it was their second day, and they kept saying that's the best.
Yeah, even when they
Barbecue?
tried other barbecue, I think they were really impressed by the brisket. They said
Yeah.
it was very juicy. It was very juicy. Had a lot of flavor. And the peach tea glazed pork belly was very
That
unique.
was really good.
Also very, just so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very good.
It's almost like the Japanese kakuni
Oh,
that
yeah.
I cook, except it is like a Texan barbecue version of
Yeah.
it with the peach. Next time I should try to put peach in
It's peach
kakuni.
tea,
Yeah.
Try to add the sweetness. I think was a really
Yeah.
unique part, but it went really well, and like the pork melted in your mouth. It's so
Yeah.
good. The sides I feel like were very delicious as well, and sometimes it can be a toss up whether sides
Yeah.
are really good at places or not.
They had a jalapeno coleslaw.
Oh,
That
you
was
like
really-
that a lot?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. They kept loving those jalapeno
Anything
infused stuff.
spicy,
Yeah, because
yeah.
it's spicy, but different kind of spicy, right?
Yeah.
It's not the red chili spice. It's like a green. So yeah, they actually took home a lot of jalapeno,
Oh, yeah.
jalapeno or pepper based, locally produced, like a jams.
Yeah, you had them
Oh.
try pepper jelly, right? And they wanted to buy pepper jelly after that. Yeah, they both bought a ton of souvenirs.
Yeah, ton of souvenirs. Almost everything is like a chili based.
Yeah, they also Tor liked to buy t-shirts. He bought like Austin t-shirts, US t-shirts. We took them to South Congress Avenue, and yeah, they went into some of the souvenir shops, just grabbed some things. Kang was so funny. He loves to collect plushies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he got like a longhorn.
Longhorn plush.
Yeah,
What else
longhorn.
did he
And
get?
then what was the other one? Did he buy a Bucky's plush, or maybe that was just Dor
was
that
Dor.
bought it? Yeah,
Bucky's
Dor bought
plushies.
he bought Bucky's plushies for his children. I know that Kang bought another plushie, and I don't remember
Yeah, I
what.
don't
It was
remember.
an animal. I know, an American animal.
Yeah, something else. Maybe we'll remember later. I really like some of the stores in South Congress. It was really good, like a gift shopping.
Yeah.
Where you see a lot of Texas
Paraphernalia.
looking stuff. Yeah.
A lot of Texas paraphernalia. Yeah. The souvenir shops there make it easy. I feel like because they're all lined up.
Yeah.
Pretty much on the street.
I really like is that a paper craft?
Paperwork.
Paperworks? I really
paperwork,
like
yeah.
that shop. It has a lot of interesting print, but also printed products like t-shirts and some cute clothes we ended up buying.
Yeah, to
For
bring
our-
back to Seattle
friend,
for
yeah.
friends. Yeah, souvenirs.
Yeah.
They pretty much carry all local artist goods, which I think is awesome to support local artists. So I know that they only accept local artists. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
You had a
Yeah.
mix of like Texas looking stuff, but there's also like kind of like animation, like a Japanese anime turned into interesting like art style. I think there's some comic stuff too, but that was a
Yes.
really cool shop that even I would come back as a local
Yeah.
person shopping. The other one looked more like it's more like
Or touristy.
touristy gifts. Yeah, and the price was like somewhere okay, somewhere like a little bit pricey, but that's a pretty good place to take people
Yes.
to.
Yeah. Yeah. So they got a few physical goods, definitely a lot of food that they can't bring back.
We took
Yeah.
them to a water park.
Yes.
That's a big feature.
We took them to Typhoon, Texas,
Yeah.
Austin, which is technically in Pflugerville.
Yeah, Pflugerville. It was much smaller than the ones we went to in the Katy, Houston.
Yes.
But it was still like a fun water park experience. It was end of the season, so we got the season pass.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
same price as the day pass.
They pass, yeah. And it was pretty fun. It was really hot and the sun was beating down, but it was a unique experience
Yeah.
for them. But they thought it was pretty fun.
I think that was one of the things they were most excited for. So it was fun to finally get to the day that we got to the water park. Oh my gosh, it was so hot.
Yeah, so hot,
I know that they both didn't even wear sunscreen. I even offered
Oh.
them sunscreen. They're like, no, we're okay.
Yeah.
And then a few hours later, I know that Tor was sitting and he was showing me like how he pulled up his short a little bit and it was like light underneath, his leg was light underneath the short, but like super dark underneath. But he didn't get any sunburn. They both didn't get sunburn.
Yeah.
Nobody was saying, oh, my back is aching or, anything. So
It's like
they're built for it.
Yeah, they're born with it.
Yeah. Born with natural screen block or
Yeah.
sunscreen.
Yeah,
on them,
and if you grow up in Thailand, your skin probably selection. What do you call that? It's like a selection.
Natural selection.
Natural selection.
Yeah.
Your skin is probably pretty good. It's strong
Yes.
with that. But yeah, they enjoy that. Next time we should take them to the shredded one.
The Schlitterbahn.
Schlitterbahn.
Yeah, New Braunfels. That would be super fun. Yeah, there's a lot of slides there. It wasn't that busy that day, so we were able to ride all the rides pretty much without many lines. But it was so nice to splash in the water in the heat. It was very welcome to get into the water. We even got to a point where we did all the slides, but we didn't want to wait in line anymore because it was so hot. We just hung out like in the easy slide, like kiddie pool area and just waited for this huge bucket on top of like this mini water park area that kids could kind of play on to like pour down a bucket of water on everyone to like cool down. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. We also took them to the Mount Bonnell,
Yes.
360 View Bridge.
Yeah, the Pennybacker Bridge.
Yeah, all these
has two names.
places that you should check out if you're ever in Austin.
Yeah, you can see really beautiful views of the city skyline or just of all the greenery. And I know that's one thing that King pointed out. He was pleasantly surprised at how green it was in the U.S., at least here in Austin. And I think Austin is pretty green probably compared to a lot of other places maybe in the U.S., but he really liked that. It was green, a lot of nature. That's a big thing to him.
And we took them to Oasis at the Lake Travis.
It
was so bright though, even at like 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m.
You were trying to catch the sunset.
Yeah, but the sun was still up and the sun reflecting on the water was so bright we couldn't even look at the lake.
Oh, geez.
For too long.
Yeah.
And it was so hot that we were like, okay, we're done.
Like, oh, we saw
we
the
took
lake.
a picture. We saw the lake.
No, we're going to go back.
Yeah, and the restaurant was closed Monday, Tuesday, which is an unfortunate thing because those are the best times to take people out to avoid the traffic. But those are also the days where things are closed.
Probably like slow.
Very common in Texas.
Yeah, I think it's the business is slow on those days. So it's not, they're not maybe going to make that much money if they open on those days. Maybe that's what they calculated. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we took them to a bunch of what are the other restaurants we took them, like besides the ramen and the brisket?
We took them to a lot of coffee places. Something that we showed them was how people here in Austin, a lot of them work from coffee shops. Not every single day, but the people working, if you work in tech or work any job where you can work remotely, they do like to spend time working at coffee shops. And I feel like how coffee shops are set up here makes it very easy to work for hours on end. And no one bothers you at their coffee shop. You just order coffee, maybe a pastry, some food. You can sit there for hours and nobody kicks you out. So it's relaxed and you get out of your house.
Yeah, we took them Cosmic Coffee.
Yeah, Cosmic Coffee. And we had my favorites.
We had a burrito there, like, because what's unique about Austin is, coffee shop is like that destination.
Yes.
But then there's a food truck.
Yeah, there's food trucks in the area.
Lined up, right?
Oh yeah, and Tor really wanted a burrito.
Yeah, burrito.
He was just talking about that the night before.
He's like, this is my dream. Like, I guess portrait of like the burrito of like.
Of Texas?
Or like, just putting the whole thing in your mouth.
Oh,
right?
He wanted that.
He really
scenario,
liked it.
Yeah,
at the Cosmic. We also went to another coffee shop just near Fairlane. It's like a fairly new coffee shop near where we live. And again, there's a food truck inside, which is very interesting. I never had such experience in Seattle.
Yeah.
Usually coffee shop is just coffee shop. There's no food truck
Yeah, hanging out in the same
around
area.
it. Yeah.
I think the areas are bigger. Like there's a lot of outdoor, almost like picnicky areas in Austin as part of the coffee shop. So food trucks can park in that
Yeah.
area too because they're big enough
Yeah.
to have them.
And it's
in
always a Mexican, like a food truck.
Oh yeah, like a Mexican cuisine.
Burrito, yeah.
Because they got another breakfast burrito, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even at the coffee shop itself, a lot of them sell like a breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
It's something that's I never thought about living in Seattle because I never had breakfast burrito in like Seattle.
Oh, true. Yeah, it is not
right?
as common as here. Yeah.
It's usually like a pastries, like the croissants.
Yes.
It's scones, bagels. It's never like breakfast burrito. So they had a plenty of burritos.
Yeah. And Cosmic Coffee, it was nice to have the outdoor area, like a lot of green around you. We also took them to Mozart's Coffee,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
right on the water. They say on Lake Austin. So very beautiful view of the water. There was this dude on a waterboard or on a surfboard who like every few minutes it seemed like he would do push-ups on his surfboard. It was so funny. And we kept staring at him. We're like, whoa, we're so amazed the first time he did it. And then he did it again.
Even
like,
American people are like,
15
what is
minutes
he
later.
doing on the
I feel like he was
surfboard?"
trying to show off. He was pretty ripped
Yeah,
too.
like why do you need to like do push up on those
in front of
paddleboard?
you're in
Yeah.
front of a lot of people. There's a lot of people sitting outside at the coffee shop. So yeah, he was on the water doing that. It was so funny.
Maybe if I'm like done working, retire, I'm just gonna be on the water, just like.
It was
showing
like a
off.
random work day too. It was so funny. Yeah.
He's probably a rich person who retired or something.
It's
like-
true. You got to be rich
Yeah.
to live on the water, have a house
Yeah.
on the water, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got to see the fun part of America. I think it's not quite as like traditional America until we took them to San Antonio.
Oh, you mean
Right.
seeing some of the history
Yeah.
of America?
Or what
yeah.
they describe as like a Hollywood movie. scene, right?
It's San Antonio seemed more like a Hollywood scene to them.
A little more than Austin, because Austin
Yeah.
is it's like a city and modern, but all the Hollywood, the South, right? The portrait is a little bit more countryside.
Right.
And I think San Antonio had more of that vibe
Yeah.
compared to Austin, and I don't know if they actually enjoyed the visit to Alamo, and I know they really like the Riverwalk.
Yeah, we did the boat tour. So
Yeah.
we did the tour around the Riverwalk on the water, and it talks about the history of the Riverwalk. I think famous pop culture like references as you kind of go around the Riverwalk. So
Yeah.
I think that was fun. I think it was also just fun to be on the water too.
Yeah. I think Alamo might be more like if you know a little bit of a history or if you feel a little bit connected to it, maybe you find it fun. I don't think that they commented much on that one, so I don't know. But the exhibit was renewed.
I think maybe the Texas Capitol might have been more
Oh,
relatable
yeah,
to them
yeah.
because we took them there. Yeah, and because it's more present,
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah. Or even
learning
took
about
a
a president.
photo
yeah.
with the security guard.
Yeah, I was walking to his station,
Yeah.
walking back. Yeah, the guy was so nice. As we walked out, he said, "Bye, have a
Yeah.
great day."
It
Yeah,
was a really fun experience for them. So yeah, we did a lot of like Texas stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't do some of the things I wanted to do. Like I wanted to take them to maybe zoo or like a military museum.
Yeah.
But it's like so hot that we don't want to be like out there. So that'll be next time
Yeah.
that they visit.
Yeah. Overall, they were very good house guests. They were quiet and, tidied their space, and that was really nice. And when we weren't working, we were just playing games and
Yeah.
watching stand-up comedy.
They got to meet
Yeah.
the other coworkers working
Yeah.
at my place. They all gathered in our house
Yeah.
because we hosted them, and
Yeah, and one
lots
thing
of
they
food.
did say about American homes is it's interesting, or it's different how the bathrooms have bathtubs separate from the toilet, because in Thailand it's typically one room. The bathroom is one room where if you take a shower, the toilet also gets wet, and I think that's very common in Asia, or at least in Southeast Asia. In the Philippines, there's a lot of bathrooms like that, especially for more of the working class. Yeah.
I'm used to Japanese toilet, which is its own room, Like that's
oh yeah,
pretty much
true.
predominantly that way, unless you go to stay in like a really small apartment.
Yes.
Then I see them like all in one like tiny area. But
Yeah.
I grew up in Japan in a house. It was a really old house, but it's all separate toilet room. And then that there's separate things. So that was actually my cultural shock coming here. It's like, why would you put where you wash your body and where you do a business in one place? Like,
You need to separate that for cleanliness.
Like for my sake, it's like different, right? And that's actually the next episode we will talk about my cultural shock.
Coming to the US,
Coming to the US.
as a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the Asian guests, I think it was really fun to have. And
Yeah.
if we have another opportunity to host different Asian guests from different country,
Or just or guests from other countries and just
Yeah.
in general would be super fun.
Yeah.
Whether they're from Asia or Europe or Africa or wherever.
Yeah.
It'd be super fun.
then we'll
Yeah.
do another episode comparing how they are different from these Asian guests
Yeah.
from Thailand. But yeah, hopefully Dorian King enjoyed the visit, and hopefully
If you're watching, hi.
hopefully they liked it enough to come back. Like
Yeah.
they're like, no, I don't want to be back to their house. But yeah, that's it for the episode. Make sure to subscribe and also hit the bell so you get notified. We also have a lot of shorts on YouTube
Yes.
that you can
and
watch.
those are updated more often, more frequently. So if you only have time to watch the shorts,
Yeah.
they're up there for you.
We also have TikTok to subscribe. It's all in the description. But yeah. See you again till next time. Bye.